So what you're saying is, 1, there's a corruption scandal involving all kinds of athletes. 2, our puppet master is a surgeon named Mitchell, a man who happened to fight in the war with Dunn, right?
Every lead I've found points to him.
Anyway, where was I? Number 3, right? 3. Since Dunn was on his trail, Mitchell hired an anteater to get rid of him. Then, since you were also shaking the wasp's nest, he went after you. But the anteater made a mistake, and Mitchell killed him to cover his own tracks. And, wait, 4. The key to all this lies with a common friend of Dunn's and Mitchell's, Craig Spenow. Do you really trust him?
I have the feeling there's something Craig didn't tell me. I don't know what exactly, but I'll find out.
4. 5. Dunn was murdered 4 days after taking Speno to his house. If that doesn't make him suspect, makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it could make sense.
Ha! Who's the detective now? Let's follow up with the suspects. You told Smirnoff that even though you're sure Yale is innocent, you think he's hiding something. But what about O'Leary? 6.
Nah, I know O'Leary, and he wouldn't have sent a hitman. He would have taken matters into his own hands.
What about Cassidy? 7, right?
I think it's safe to rule out Cassidy as Dunn's murderer. He seems too impulsive to have planned such a twisted crime. Whoever planned the whole thing knew the suicide theory would fall through, so he manipulated the clues to incriminate Yale. Cassidy is too impulsive to pull off such an intricate plan.
So you're right. Mitchell is the one pulling the strings. And you know why? Because in novels, the murderer is always someone the detective knows from the beginning.
Well, that could be the case in British novels. You know, where everyone in the mansion where the murder took place is a suspect. But this might just be an American whodunit, where the detective doesn't even meet the culprit until the last scene.
You mean we still don't know who's pulling the strings?
I didn't say that. How did it go with Helen Moore?
I didn't get anything, even though it started out really well. I asked to interview her along with her boyfriend, Al Stone. Since I'm a big shot, they were happy to oblige. Perfect. Now, time for the interview. I'll go back and forth so you don't get bored. So, who goes first?
Ladies first, right?
Here's one for Helen. What can you say about the rumors that claim you were in a relationship with Desmond O'Leary?
Oh, honey. It would be such a shame to mention that shady character in your article, wouldn't it?
Well, why?
I'm sure your newspaper would hate to fire someone as talented as you.
Oh, okay, now. Here's a question for Al. In just 12 days, the contender will try to steal your belt. Any thoughts on your fight against Yale?
Yeah, sure.
My Al is going to kick that thug's behind. Isn't that so, honey?
Yeah, well, we'll see. No such thing as a weak rival.
Nonsense. You are and will be world champion. Next question.
Moving on. Time for a picture.
How should we pose?
Okay, how about a hug? I want to feel the love. You're the envy of all America. Now what? Here's one for both of you. Have you thought about marriage and children?
Well, the truth is, we haven't talked about it, but maybe it's too soon. Maybe...
Of course we thought about it. Al is simply too private, that's all. That's all we can say for now. But tell your readers to watch this space.
Okay, one more question, and...
Al, honey, can you answer it? I've got to go say hi to a fan. I'll be right back, Mr. Pulitzer.
Wait. You mean she stopped smiling when that fan showed up?
Yeah.
Could you describe him for me?
I'll be able to show you something as soon as I'm done developing these pictures. And actually, I thought it was odd too. So while I continued to interview Stone, I managed to take some pictures of Moore and whoever her mysterious fan was. All right, so where were we? Are you ever jealous about sharing your sweetheart with America?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm jealous, but I know that someone so popular and honest can draw the wrong kind of attention. There are plenty of people who would love to put an end to her career, so it's not easy.
Let's get that picture taken. Turn around and show me those biceps from behind.
Like that?
That's it. Wait, I accidentally moved. Stand still. I'll take another one. What's with me today? Don't move, please. Now we got it. Should we keep at it? In just 12 days, the contender will try to steal your belt. Any thoughts on your fight against Yale?
Well, supposedly the odds are in my favor, but there's no such thing as a weak rival. And, you know, Bobby Yale might be young and going through a rough patch, but he's had an amazing streak, so I'll do my best.
I'm going to take one more, all right? Let's see what you think about this. Close your eyes and rest your chin on your fist. The boxing thinker.
Like these?
Exactly. What's up with me? Stand still. I'll take it again. I can't seem to get it right. Don't move. It's about time. Finally, we're all set.
Wait. So, are you telling me the photos are developed? Or is that what you said to Stone?
Both. Just look.
Who's that guy?
I know he's not a fan. You should have seen her face when she saw him. How much do you think each bicep weighs?
A lot, but less than your tongue.
You're hilarious.
I think she only smokes when she's nervous. What was making her nervous? I've seen that matchbox before. Wait, that's him.
Who?
Mitchell, the surgeon.
Seriously? We got him.
Not yet.
Right. We still have to find him. Hey, pal. Did you hear what I just said? We need to keep looking at all those pictures. We need a clue that'll take us to Mitchell. Hey, see? There. Just like I was saying.
Brawls aren't even the worst part of my job. Sure, you may take a beating, but at least you get the chance to defend yourself. But when you're sitting in your car all night, there's no way out. Your legs cramp up, your back and neck feel stiff. Your entire body aches to be somewhere else. It's boring and repetitive. People were finally leaving the place. The bar was about to close. And I hadn't seen Mitchell go in or out. I had no choice.
I see you took me up on my invitation. And you're smart. You knew not to come until my anti-fur regulars had all cleared out.
I can't say no to good advice.
Or good bourbon. Here's looking at you, Mr. What was your name?
As far as I knew, La Iguana always stayed neutral. He played poker with Cassidy, but his joint was used as the gambling drop-off for O'Leary's operation. Did it make sense to keep faking it? Or was it too dangerous not to?
Farnham. Howard M. Farnham II.
That's right. Howard Farnham from Ding Dong, Texas. You're natural. You're even better at pool than poker.
This here's much easier. No cheating.
You barely flinched when Cassidy decided to teach that ego a lesson.
What do you want a fella to say? I was too flabbergasted to be surprised, to be honest. These things don't happen in Texas.
Damn it.
Well, nobody's perfect. Tell me, what do you really want with Cassidy? I can't say it's clear to me.
I'm looking to start a boxing managers association in Texas. I could really use Cassidy's know-how.
Don't worry about it. I was only curious. So, what about me? What do you want from me? No one comes to La Iguana just to drink and play pool.
I'm here looking for a regular of yours, Dr. Angus Mitchell.
What for?
I know he's got his own sport business, and I think a partnership would be profitable for the both of us.
Sure. Tell you what, I'll talk to Mitchell. Come back tomorrow night.
You don't understand. I have to talk to him, or else.
Or else what?
You'd be losing your chance to make a pretty penny. I know how to reward my allies.
You think I'd spend my time in this dump if all I cared about was the money? Please, cut the crap. Anything else?
I don't think Cassidy would be too happy about the role this here dump plays in old Leary's gambling operation. You follow me?
Son of a bitch. All right. Give me your phone number, and I'll give you a call when Mitchell shows up.
No. You're gonna call him right now, and you're gonna give him this message. But when you're sitting in your car all night, there's no way out. Your legs cramp up, your back and neck feel stiff, your entire body aches to be somewhere else. It's boring and repetitive. It's so bad that your thoughts spiral in a never-ending loop, like when you're stuck in your car, on surveillance duty. The owner of La Iguana was supposed to tell Mitchell that a certain anteater was still alive, and that it was only a matter of time before he ratted him out. With a bit of luck, that would make him nervous enough to force his hand. Now all I had to do was follow him.
We'll be just fine, don't worry. Gil, stand guard right here. If the cat shows up, you know what to do. I'll be back in an hour.
Looks like things won't be easy. Could I take him by surprise from over there? Although I don't know how I'd get there. Of course, he's Randall Lee's partner. I should be careful. When they gave me a beating, I could see he was kinda trigger happy. When you want to be silent, noise can be your best ally. I did mess up a guy's face with an extinguisher once, but this kind is too heavy for my current needs. What does this place have to hide? Will I need help? Who would I call?
Wiggly here. You're what's...
Pier 36, the 6th sea-facing warehouse coming in from Montgomery.
John? Is that you?
Meet me in an hour.
What's going on?
Bring your camera. I just gave you the scoop of your life. Pier 36. Meet me in an hour.
Blacksad.
If you're coming from Montgomery, it's the 6th sea-facing warehouse.
What's going on?
And bring the cavalry. According to this, the warehouse belonged to a Canadian import company. If I'm not mistaken, these are incense sticks, used in cleansing rituals. It could be an Ojibwa totem pole, in which case, the top animal would be a crane. A dream catcher. It's supposed to protect children during the night, trapping all evil in its spider web. Don't you even think of screaming.
I might not even talk.
It looks like an arrowhead. Everything seems to prove that Gil is a Native American, and I'm almost sure that the woman in the picture is his mother. You know who'll always believe in you? Your mother. My mother never lost her faith in me. And I gave her plenty of reasons when I was a kid. It all started with something as stupid as keeping the change when she sent me for groceries. Then I started stealing fruit from the street stands. And finally, I turned to pickpocketing. Somehow, my mother managed to keep me in school until I got into college. But I never gave her reasons to believe in me then either. I made new friends. The type of friends that convince you to do things that wouldn't make a mother proud. Then Pearl Harbor happened. I got drafted and sent to Europe. I never knew how to follow orders. They sent me back home with a dishonorable discharge. But when I got back, I was treated like a pariah, a veteran outcast who never should have come back in the first place. And yet, my mother never ceased to...
I also fought in the war. That's where I met Mitchell. They used me, like many of my people. And then they just tossed us aside. The first time Mitchell offered me to do this, I told him to take a hike. I wanted to get my act together, but I ended up begging him. I don't like Mitchell. I don't like the things he makes me do. I don't like that German rat either. But what I like least of all is myself. I don't like what I did during the war, and I don't like what I'm doing now. Do you know what it's like to kill a friend for the sake of the mission? Huh. But my mother, she always thought I'd make amends and start anew. Maybe it's time I did just that. It's number 3.
What if it was Gil who killed his partner Randall Lee under Mitchell's orders? Hey, it's all right. Don't be afraid, little girl. I'm gonna get you out of here, okay?
Peter, no hurt.
Hey.
Peter, no hurt.
Once upon a time, there was a brave, seafaring little girl called...
Brunhilda!
Hi, my name is Brunhilda, and I'm very happy.
said Brunhilda. And then Brunhilda, who had a beautiful name,
Really beautiful.
a really beautiful name, ran into someone very special.
Oh, who was it?
A sea cat called John.
I'm a sea cat. My name is John. Hi, John the cat. I really like sea cats. Hi, Brunhilda. I'm going to use my seafaring wisdom to help you. You're out of a cage, too.
Nein, it's sad.
You say silly things, John the cat. So what are you going to help me do? Bake some delicious pies. I love pies. Which is your favorite? Wow, that's a very hard question. But John the cat, it's the easiest question in the world. Let me show you how easy it is. My favorite pie is blueberry. Whoa, Brunhilda. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Bird! Bird, John, Brunhilda, Freund. Do play? It's look.
Okay.
Hi, Bird. Why are you wearing that mask?
Weil, gas.
Well, maybe we should get out of here. What do you think, Bird? And what about you, Brunhilda? Don't you think that?
A list of names, somehow related to chemical agents?
Subject, Brunhilde Gruner. Treatment, day 1500. The patient's ability to speak continues to diminish. Now she can only pronounce the occasional word in German. Tissue degeneration persists. And yet, perhaps due to drastic reduction of benzylproline dosage and an increase of anupropion, we have observed a 3% of deceleration of said degeneration. Furthermore, and perhaps this is the best finding so far, the subject exhibits a mild recovery of her speaking. It's not a lot, and yet we are on the right track. All hope is not lost. Subject, Craig Spano. Treatment, day 0. The subject is a veteran baseball player who has lost speed, strength, and agility due to the regular aging process. The patient refers intense pain on the right scapula, most likely caused by an old injury. The goals of our medical approach are twofold: to relieve pain caused by the prior injury so that the subject can play without symptoms, and to help the patient regain the physical condition lost in the aging process, thus allowing him to perform at elite levels. Treatment, day 120. The patient no longer feels pain when using his right arm, circumstance that allows him to pitch without fear. So far, the only side effect seems to be a slight euphoria experienced 3 hours after dosage, which subsides 4 hours later, taking the patient on an emotional roller coaster of sorts with bouts of mild trembling. Treatment, day 341. Moments of euphoria and boosted physical performance have become increasingly short, while the ensuing periods of depression and weakness have become longer, including severe tremor. Although we have met all therapeutic goals, we will proceed to terminate the treatment in order to avoid causing irreparable physical and mental damage to the patient.
Mitchell is cashing in by selling drugs to enhance athletes' performances. The worst part of Mitchell's scheme isn't that it's illegal or unethical, it's that he didn't even care about compromising the athlete's health.
Gil? You know you're not allowed down here. You know you're not allowed.
You bastard! I should kill you right here, right now!
I don't know.
You don't know? How much did Mitchell pay you for your soul?
It's not about the money. It's about Brunhilde, my daughter. She was born with a degenerative disease, a rare condition similar to the Angelman syndrome. There are only 4 known cases like hers, and none of the patients reached the age of 5. But I couldn't give up. I continued to research and found something. It didn't make her better, but anyway, that same treatment used on healthy subjects seems to improve their stamina and their reflexes. It also seems to improve their pain threshold. Somehow, the Reich heard about my experiments and tried to recruit me to create super soldiers. Yes, that Reich. We're talking late 30s, Berlin. I escaped with Brunhilde and came to your country. But the American military also heard about me. I spent the entire war experimenting with drugs on soldiers. Some were highly effective, I must say. When the war was over, my experiments were discarded. I was forbidden all access to the drugs, and Brunhilde got worse. But then God sent me Angus Mitchell. We had met during the war, and he came to offer me a deal. I would make drugs for athletes, and he would sell them. With my earnings, I could pay for Brunhilde's treatment. What else do you want me to say?
What are the long-term effects of those drugs?
It depends on the patient. But they all develop an addiction, even Brunhilde. They also suffer other symptoms. Some become delirious. She's losing muscle mass by the day. Others lose their ability to focus. And some, slowly but surely, lose it all.
About those pills. What is he looking at?
Don't dwell on it, Josh. You had to tell him the truth in order to protect Brunhilde. I would have done the same thing. Finish packing up your things and stop torturing yourself, okay?
Thanks, Angus. I won't be long.
Oh, honey. You like living here? Yeah, me too. But we have to go somewhere else, and it's all that bad cat's fault. Yes, sweetie. We're going to a new home now. A prettier one. And you'll be happier there. Now go with Papa, honey. Give him a kiss. Go on. Give him a kiss. Go on. I'm sorry about this, Josh, but we gave it our best, didn't we?
Huh? What? What do you mean, Angus?
I wish it hadn't come to this.
Angus, what's wrong?
Goodbye, Josh. I hope you're happy, you son of a bitch. They were good people. They didn't deserve this. You're so far from the truth. What the?
The mask would buy me a bit of extra time. The question was, how much? Spano just ran out that way. fresh air.
Greg's Fatto is back! Did you miss me? Who wants to see a home run? Now you're gonna see! Bring it on! Let's go!
No.
Don't torture yourself. You did everything you could.
Would he make it?
The doctors think so. They found him unconscious by the basement door.
What? Could Gil have blocked the basement door from the outside to kill Mitchell?
You think? That's a serious accusation. Are you sure, or is this just a theory of yours?
I'm positive. Gil told me himself. Mitchell practically forced him to work for him. And I've got reasons to believe that Gil is a bit trigger-happy. Besides, I'd say he wasn't even really unconscious when they found him. That he was just pretending.
Huh. You think Gil was involved in the previous murders?
What if it was Gil who killed his partner, Randall Lee, under Mitchell's orders?
Another serious accusation. Are you sure?
Yes. Everything points in that direction, including my gut.
Wait, couldn't Mitchell be Randall Lee's murderer?
So he misses with 2 shots at point-blank range, and then he hits a guy smack in the forehead from across the street? No. Mitchell is not the sniper who wiped out Randall Lee.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But we still don't know what caused Craig Spano's death.
There's no doubt about it. Spano took drugs from the lab, and they killed him.
But if that were true, how many more athletes are in danger? And most importantly, who are they? Is Bobby Yale involved?
I didn't see them all, but write down these names. Peter Lowe, Xavier Chains, Helen Moore, Bill Goldman, Miles Benton, Alexander Wood, Jacob Ziegler, and yes, Bobby Yale.
Thanks. Saving lives for a change, huh? In any case, thanks for the call. I was starting to think you'd never trust the police again.
I don't trust the cops. I trust you.
Smile, Johnny boy. Thanks for the tip. This is going to win me the Pulitzer.
Get that guy out of here. All right. Let's get this over with. When the war ended, Mitchell convinced Grun to use his super soldier drugs on elite athletes. Somehow, Dunn found out about Mitchell's scheme. So when Mitchell heard that Dunn was onto him, he ordered Randall Lee to kill him and frame Yale for the murder. Then, he made Randall search Dunn's house and the gym for any incriminating evidence he might have had against him. The poor cleaning lady died almost by chance. When you stuck your nose in the case, he tried to scare you by sending his thugs to give you a beating. And when that didn't work, he asked Randall Lee to finish you off on the gym rooftop. But Randall not only failed, he got captured. So Mitchell ordered Gil to put a bullet through his head, which only made Gil upset. You kept getting closer and closer to the point of discovering his headquarters. When Mitchell realized he was cornered, he burned his bridges by setting the lab on fire, along with Dr. Grun and his daughter. Gil saw the opportunity to get back at Mitchell, so he blocked the only exit so that he would also die in the fire. Did I leave any loose ends?
Just a few. But don't worry about it. I'll take care of them now. So I guess thanks for everything. In your classic noir films and novels, solving a case never amounts to a happy ending. The detective is always left with a sense of bitterness. A feeling that, before he took the case, the world was a better place. That he was a better person.
Come on, now spit it out!
Sometimes I just let my character get the best of me.
What do you want from me?
I told Stone what I knew. That he was going to let Yale win. That if he didn't, O'Leary would destroy Helen Moore's career. And that Moore was doomed either way. Or would be, as soon as America discovered her sweetheart was on drugs.
I don't believe you. No way. Who sent you?
Today, nobody.
And what if I did believe you? What would that change? If I don't do this for her, how could I ever look her in the eyes? How could we stay together?
You think you'll stay together when you lose your title and they accuse her of doping?
At least I know I tried.
The drug scandal is bound to rattle the entire sporting world soon enough. At some point, the police will have to take it seriously. If you let Yale win, and they find out about O'Leary, you might even lose your freedom.
It's not the worst thing I can lose.
Suit yourself. But trust me, your manager is a murderer. Get as far away from him as possible.
Hey, Blacksad! I'll think about it.
Yale confirmed to me that Dunn found out that Mitchell was giving him meds. That was the reason they argued the evening of his death.
In fact, I was clean at the time. Hadn't used for days. I didn't want to go down that road. I wanted to follow Joe.
But he discovered everything.
He didn't believe me when I said I had nothing to do with it.
But you used again.
Only after his death. I needed to cope.
But the drugs gave you a panic attack.
Yeah. But I've been clean ever since.
Mitchell gave you the pills when he stopped by the hospital. Hence, your miraculous recovery. Are you planning on taking them before the fight? Do it. Someone has to save that gym. But they'll be your last pills. Then what? Stone and Yale hadn't taken away the bitterness I felt. I needed a friend. In appreciation for the tip I'd given him, he insisted on buying me a milkshake that he drank. After the perfect storm of corruption and murder, Only friendship could reconcile me with the world. Only that could make me believe in mankind again. Only that could cleanse my soul. Only that. And money. In your standard noir novel, Yale and Stone would be punished for breaking the rules. There would be justice for Sonia, the victim. But this was the real world. As the detective who had cracked the case, I just had to get my paycheck and be on my way.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Blacksad. Mr. Thorpe is on his way. Care to take a seat while you wait?
Did he tell you why he's running late?
He'll be here in a minute. Please, take a seat.
No matter how many curveballs destiny throws his way, he always manages to land on his feet. When he was a rising sports talent, the war put an end to his career, so he became a war hero. After the war, he didn't end up like Gil or like me. He became an elite athlete, a Hall of Fame football star. When an accident left him in a wheelchair, he went on to succeed in advertising. The last time I climbed a skyscraper, I had very different intentions. I wasn't there to claim my reward. I was there to punish someone. That's not possible. But what if Tim Thorpe was somehow involved in Mitchell's operation?
Mr. Blacksad, Mr. Thorpe is running later than expected, but he insists on meeting you, if you don't mind.
Sure, as long as you help me fight off this boredom.
That's not in my job description, but...
If my hunch is right, there should be a meeting with Mitchell noted somewhere in Thorpe's agenda. If I had her markings on my skin, would I be the same person? Would my name be different? How long have you worked for Tim Thorpe?
Almost 3 years. And I hope it lasts.
Has anything odd happened at the agency lately?
Not on my shift. Perhaps the oddest thing I've seen is a bored detective asking a lot of questions.
Well, you see, I've got a problem. In order to figure out how much Mr. Thorpe owes me, I need to know what day I started working on the case. But I can't remember. You wouldn't have that written down, would you?
It sure wasn't on my shift. I'd remember. Let me see.
What? Dunn was here 2 days before he died? Why didn't Thorpe ever mention that?
I'm sorry, but your name's not on here.
Wait, I just remembered something. The day I came, Joe Dunn had just walked out the door.
Well, no. You don't have any appointments. Although, I guess I could have forgotten to write you in. Mr. Dunn, who's usually very kind, left in a flurry. He even slammed Mr. Thorpe's door.
Okay. Now I know I have to get into Thorpe's office.
And he didn't even say goodbye.
Yes, that was the day. You don't recall me because the minute I saw Dunn stomp out, I followed him. I never actually came in.
Of course. That explains it.
No doubt. So, since it looks like Mr. Thorpe won't be here soon, I think I'll go take a walk down the hall. Gotta stay in shape. Come on, Thorpe. Tell me there's a back door to your office. Should I play the Smirnoff trump card again? No, this is nothing but a hunch. If Weekly were here, I'd have to tie his hands behind his back. Cats aren't afraid of heights. That's why I've never felt vertigo. In my experience, when something looks really good, it ends up smelling really bad. One of the strengths, the accuracy of his throw. I earned the nickname Iron Arm. I used to throw the ball in 50 and wherever it wanted. And my coach, the great Geoffrey Sachs. And so I worked hard. Pearl Harbor. I enlisted immediately. After losing a partner in combat, a serious injury, I asked to be relocated. I became a sniper. I know I shouldn't say this, but I was one of the best in the Army, and it was all thanks to my accuracy. No, it was all thanks to Geoffrey Sachs. I wonder how many Americans that man saved with my arm. After these words, Tim Thorpe is moved almost to tears and asks me to take a break. It's shocking to see how an athlete and soldier, a man whose aim and skill won him a Medal of Honor and the nickname Surgeon among his brothers in arms. That can't be. I mean, it could be a coincidence, but no. Why am I surprised? In every investigation, there comes a point where every single lead seems to go down the drain. And you have to retrace your steps to get back on the right track. It's a bit strange to see no office chair behind a desk until you remember the desk's owner is in a wheelchair. I better not use it. It might be connected to the switchboard at the front desk. Of course. Oh, crap. That's it. Thorpe is the man behind the whole drug operation. Wait, what if Groon's drugs helped Thorpe walk? course, it wasn't Mitchell or Gil. It was Thorpe who shot Randall at the hospital. Everything adds up now. And yet I can already hear Smirnov telling me I have no conclusive evidence. What if I set a trap for Thorpe? But how? Ha! What if I place Thorpe's gun up there and corner him so that he has to stand up to get it? The show was about to begin. All I needed was an audience and some patience.
Stop it!
Arr! Don't you know who you're dealing with, matey?
What a silly man.
Mutiny! You wants to be shark bait, do ya? Oh, Blacksad. I feel terrible for keeping you waiting.
John.
But you see, there was mutiny on board, so...
Stop!
See what I have to put up with. All right, helmswoman, to the cabin with you! Onward!
Aye, aye, Captain.
Come along, Blacksad. Julie, don't let anyone bother us. Honey, will you wait in the boardroom for me, please?
But...
I'll just be a minute then. I think you've already suffered enough.
Okay.
And think about where you'd like to have dinner tonight, okay? You see, I'm not gonna pay you for solving the case.
Fair enough. The truth is, I didn't solve it.
No, it's not that. You'll get every penny we agreed on, and more. But not because you solved the case, but for her. 2 days ago, she wanted to end it all. Drop out of college, sell the gym. Too many wounds to heal. But through your incredible work, you managed to heal them. Well, perhaps not completely. It takes time to get over something like this. But at least, thanks to you, Sonia wants to be happy. She has hope. I'm going to help her make Dunn's Gym the best in the city. Who would have ever guessed it, huh?
In the end, it seems like Dunn's death was the best thing that could have happened to the gym, huh?
Don't be so cynical. By God, can't you stop playing the hard-boiled detective for 1 second? Anyway, back to the case. All those people you confronted. Gil, the German doctor, even Mitchell. Huh. I would have never suspected him. Did they say anything? Why did they do it? Did they mention any accomplices?
They did mention a certain surgeon.
Surgeon? You have any idea who that could be?
I'm sure this comes as no surprise, but it was Angus Mitchell himself. In fact, you gave me the lead by telling me he was a doctor.
Sure, yeah, sure. I'm glad I could help. Although, you see, besides my esteem for Joe and Sonia, this ordeal really hits close to home.
I don't follow. How do you mean?
Sports are my livelihood. Do you know how many of the athletes involved have a deal with me?
How do you know that?
What?
Oh, wait. Sonia told you.
Yes, that's it. Sonia told me.
That's funny. I never told Sonia.
Well then, do you know how many of the athletes involved have a deal with me?
I don't really know.
I'll tell you. Too many. So far, the papers only talk about bodies down at the docks and an illegal lab. Not one has mentioned the athletes. But if one word gets out, this agency's future could be on the line. Not to mention Sonia's and the gym's. Could I ask you to be discreet?
Sure. I'll be discreet. For a bonus.
Oh, sure. I get it. How much are we talking about?
Twice the amount we agreed on.
That seems fair enough. Anyway, that's it. Julie has your check. Don't forget to claim it. As for your bonus, I'll send it along soon. Don't worry about it. Thank you again, Blacksad. I don't know what state Sonia would be in if it weren't for you.
I had to act, then and there, or let Thorpe get away with it.
Excuse me for not standing.
No, I won't excuse you. I know you could stand if you wanted to.
I'm sure you've got good intentions, but you're wrong. What makes you think that? I'm sure there's an explanation.
According to Spano, the mastermind was a certain surgeon. I thought it was Mitchell, but now I know the truth. A journalist told me. Ring a bell? I know that you were a highly skilled sniper. It was you who shot Randall Lee at the hospital.
Have you seen me, Blacksad? How could I possibly do that? I hired you to solve this damn case. You think that's what a murderer would do?
Only because you thought I'd blame Bobby Yale and drop the case. But as soon as I realized something wasn't right, you sent Randall Lee and Gil to give me a scare. And when all that failed, you ordered Lee to kill me.
You're the type that won't open his jaws once he's got his prey, aren't you?
I think I've made that clear enough by now.
Put yourself in my place for a minute. You're a promising football player who just got back from the war, but you're still a nobody. The man you saved kindly opens his house to you, and that man is still undone by his wife's passing. He works all day at his gym, and he drinks himself to sleep at night. So you practically end up raising his daughter. You give her her very first abacus. You encourage her to further her education. You comfort her when she misses her mother and her father. Meanwhile, your sporting career takes off. Life is good. Until one day, out of the blue, an accident cripples you. An old friend, Mitchell, tells you he knows someone who can help you. A German doctor. His drugs take some time to work, but they do wonders. You manage to walk for short bursts at a time, little by little. And those bursts keep getting longer. But the drugs aren't cheap at all. So you have to find a way to pay for them, don't you see?
So you started by selling drugs to athletes. Then you decided to start an advertising agency to hire those same athletes. Drugs would help them excel, and you'd get better ad deals. The perfect business model. Your first client? Craig Spano. His career had hit a rough patch, so... he was the guinea pig for your new operation. And yet, when the drug started having serious side effects, you got rid of him. Afraid he would talk, you tried to kill him. That's why he hid. From then on, your business was smooth sailing. You even began to think you were above the law. You thought that you were untouchable. Until Joe Dunn found out, and then, 2 days before his unfortunate death, he came to see you.
That's enough now! You stop it! Now, I don't know if I'm above the law, but I am sure as hell not beneath it. Do you know how much power I have? The kind of people I eat with every day? I could shoot you right now, and nothing would happen to me.
With that gun you keep in your drawer? I'm afraid not. I placed your pistol out of reach, just in case you happen to confirm my suspicions, Iron Arm. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have an appointment with the police.
I won't let anyone wreck my life again. Sonia and I, we deserve a future.
You can come in now, Smirnoff.
Timothy Wilson Thorpe, drop your weapon. You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the state will provide one for you. Mr. Thorpe. Sonia Dunn, you are under arrest for the death of Timothy Wilson Thorpe. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the state will provide one for you. Do you understand these rights as I have just read them to you? With these rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me? Watch your step.
take drugs before the fight? Did Stone let him win? I had done everything in my power for things to go the way my moral compass dictated. Whether anyone would listen to me, that was another story. Because no matter what they tell us, our actions don't always determine our future. My moral compass. As if I even knew what that means. I didn't even know what to think of my performance throughout the case. Did I have a clear conscience? Would I have made the same decisions, given the chance? What's the difference?